We're Aubrey and Deleir, designers and DIYers, teaming up with Lowe's to help homeowners combine their DIY wants and needs to create a blended space that everyone loves. This is Blending, how to remodel a bathroom shower. Today we're meeting Yasmin and Diallo and their two daughters, Sophie and Fatima. They are the sweetest family, and their two daughters are sharing a bathroom and really need some blending renovation.
We love the location of our house, but our family was a lot smaller when we moved in. Our kids were a lot smaller when we moved in 10 years ago. Our biggest challenge is how tight the space is, how cozy our home is.
Okay, so tell me what it's like to share a bathroom.
It's a small bathroom, so we don't have a lot of space to have our own styles. I want more natural and earthy tones, like blues and greens and darker browns maybe, and more natural lighting.
Love that.
And I want clean tiles and neutral aesthetic.
You ready to go see the space?
Yeah, should we go see it?
Awesome. You guys lead the way.
We're really grateful for this place, but as you can see, it's very small, and now that they are grown, they need the space.
Well, this is pretty tight. I get it.
Tell us about the space. What's kind of working and not working?
So I definitely want a towel rack here because...
Yeah, because there isn't one right now.
Yeah, right now. It used to have one, but then it broke.
Off the wall.
Yep.
And maybe a new vanity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of some updates here.
Yeah, we can
With
get
lights
some
or something.
Yeah.
cleaner storage. I see that for sure.
Sophie and Fatima's bathroom is just small. I grew up with sisters, and I know it can be such a pain to share a space with them when you have so much stuff.
After looking at their space, there are going to be 3 things we want to focus on for this bathroom remodel.
That's the shower, the vanity, and the lighting. I can't wait to give these girls their dream bathroom.
Our first step is going to be removing the shower surround. Start by turning off the water to your house. Next, remove the shower hardware. All hardware is going to be different, but it's usually as simple as finding a screw or set screw, loosening it, and pulling off the hardware.
Next, remove the shower surround. Shower surrounds have a small flange along the edges that sit behind the drywall.
Once your drywall is cut, remove the strip of drywall that covers the flange, and, if necessary, remove any screws holding the shower surround flange to the wall. So, our shower surround came out in multiple pieces, but if yours is in one large piece, you can use a reciprocating saw to cut it into smaller pieces to make it easier to remove. If you're removing tile, you can either break the tile or just use a drywall saw or multi-tool to cut around the tile and remove the entire board in one piece. It'll make your life easier. You're going to want to check for mold and mildew and take time to make any plumbing adjustments if needed.
So we finished demoing the shower surround, and we hired a professional plumber to come in and handle the rough-in plumbing and to move the drain placement to accommodate a walk-in shower, and now we're ready to start waterproofing.
Installing the backer board. Backer board is the foundation for tiling projects. If you try to tile over drywall, it won't support the weight and definitely won't be waterproof. We're going to be using kerdi board, a lightweight type of backer board that's easy to work with. It's water and mold resistant, so it's the perfect foundation for tiling.
Measure how much kerdi board you'll need and make sure it's the same thickness as your drywall. Make sure your framing is level so that your backer board lays flat and makes contact with all of the studs. Cut the board to size with a sharp utility blade. Make sure to leave room for the shower tray beneath the kerdi board. We used a 2x4 beneath the bottom level of boards to provide enough space for the shower tray and a 1/4 inch expansion gap. Use kerdi screws and washers to screw the backer board into the center of the studs. Space your screws out about every 12 inches. Make sure that your boards remain plumb as you go so that you have a flat surface to tile on.
When you get to the wall with your plumbing, you'll need to cut out holes for that plumbing. Align your kerdi board on the wall and press it firmly against the plumbing that sticks out the most. This will dent the backer board and show you exactly where to cut your first hole. Measure and mark for the plumbing and cut the holes to size using a utility knife. Continue to press the board until your kerdi board sits flat against the studs and you have holes for all of your plumbing. Installing a shower niche. We're going to be working with a prefabricated shower niche from Lowe's. It's built to fit between 16-inch space studs. We added some framing above and below the niche to support it.
Place your niche on the wall between 2 studs and use a utility knife to cut the backer board along the line. Dry fit the niche to make sure it fits. If needed, make additional cuts with your knife. Push the niche in and anchor the corners and every 12 inches along the seam.
To add your adjustable shelves, dry fit them first to determine where you want them. Then apply sealant to the back, sides, and face of the shelves and press them firmly into place, making sure they are level in each direction. You may need to prop these in place while the sealant cures. Add additional sealant to all corners of the niche where the back, sides, and shelves intersect.
Waterproofing. Pour 3 quarts of water into a 5-gallon bucket, followed by 25 pounds of mortar, or half a bag. Using a spiral mixer and a drill on low speed, mix the ingredients together for 5 minutes. Let the mixture set for 10 minutes and then mix it again for another 3 minutes. You want the mixture to be the consistency of soft serve ice cream. Backer board is waterproof, but we'll need to seal the gaps between the boards as well as anywhere we punctured the board with a screw. Use a metal scraper to apply a thin layer of mortar over a seam, making sure to cover at least 2 inches on either side of the seam. Then, using the notched side of your trowel, create a groove pattern all across the mortar.
Using a metal scraper, push the waterproofing tape into the mortar. Continue to press the excess mortar from beneath the waterproofing tape so that it pushes out from behind the edges. Using the flat side of your trowel or your scraper, apply a very thin layer of mortar over the waterproofing tape, making sure the edges are completely covered. This is how you get a good waterproof seal. Make sure each intersection of waterproofing tape overlaps by at least 2 inches.
For corners, press the middle of the waterproofing tape into the corner and scrape away from the corners, repeating the same process. Before installing our shower pan, we want to make sure that the area is clean and free of debris.
Installing the shower tray. Clean the subfloor of all dust and debris. Measure to make sure your shower tray fits. If you need to cut it down to size, do this with a skill saw or table saw. Apply a thick layer of mortar to the entire floor using the flat side of your trowel. Then, comb additional mortar over this layer using the notched side of your trowel. Place the shower tray firmly into the mortar. Once the shower tray is in place, add a shower curb.
We made a makeshift curb out of wood, but you can buy pre-made shower curbs from Lowe's and cut them to size. Seal the interior corners using pre-made waterproofing tape corner pieces and mortar. Once your corners are sealed, seal the perimeter of the shower tray and shower curb using waterproofing tape and mortar. Make sure you have a 2-inch overlap at all junctions. Seal the drain using the bonding flange. Fill the step in the shower tray with mortar. Apply plumbing glue to the drain pipe and press the flange firmly into the mortar. Check to make sure it's level and then apply another layer of mortar over the flange. Seal it with a collar, then clean it up.
After letting the mortar set for 24 hours, it's important to conduct a flood test to ensure the shower tray and seams are watertight. Simply fill the shower up with water and mark where the water line is with a pencil. Wait 24 to 48 hours and the water should still be at the same level. If it's not, you've got a leak and you'll want to find and reseal it before you tile.
So when applying tile to a shower wall like we are, you want to make sure that your cut piece is at the bottom. The reason for that is it's least visually distracting. So if you look at our wall, we've created lines for each place our tiles will live, and that bottom section has a slightly shorter piece. For the bottom piece we cut, we left about the width of a tile and about 1/8 of an inch. The reason for that is we want to slide in our shower floor tile underneath that.
There are many tiling patterns to choose from. Make sure you do some research to plan for the pattern you want to make. When you're ready to install your tile, mix a bucket of mortar using the same process previously described. You'll want the mortar to be a little bit thicker, so adjust the ratio to be more viscous. We used 2.5 quarts of water for every half bag of mortar. Spread the mortar evenly onto the back of your tile. The grooves are really important because they're what help adhere the tile to the wall.
Set the first tile in place by pressing it firmly into the mortar. Make sure you use a spacer at the bottom to leave room for your floor tiles. Use plastic spacers between each tile to leave room for your grout. Continue to tile row by row. You'll need to cut some tiles to size so that they fit. We used a wet saw to easily cut the tiles. You'll want to make sure that the surface of the wall remains flat. Too much mortar beneath one tile will cause it to protrude past the other tiles. If you notice a tile isn't flush with the others, pull it off and add or remove mortar so that it's flush with the other tiles around it.
So we're going to be starting on this section of the wall. What we're going to do is apply this Schluter tile edge, and that'll give us a really nice clean line between the tile and the drywall.
Installing the shower niche tile. We're tiling our niches using these blue accent tiles. Use the same process of applying mortar to the back of the tiles and press them into place. Once we started adding tiles, we just repeated the steps until they were all the way up the niche. We also used the same edging to give us a clean edge around the niche tiles. Let the mortar dry for 24 hours or however long the manufacturer recommends. Remove the tile spacers after the mortar has set. Grouting. We're using a quick setting grout, so we made sure to just mix a little bit at a time so it doesn't dry out. Apply grout using a rubber float, working it into the cracks using a diagonal motion. Once all the cracks are filled, let the grout dry for 10 minutes. Your tile surface will look a bit messy, but you can use a damp sponge to clean the tile before the grout dries on the surface. Let the grout fully dry over 2 to 3 days, or whatever the manufacturer recommends. Once the grout has fully dried, use a grout haze remover to clean the tiles.
Installing a shower door. Lowe's has a ton of shower door options. We went with an all-glass sliding door with a brushed gold hardware to match the rest of the bathroom. Whatever door you choose, follow the manufacturer's instructions for installation. But here are a few tips that will help out with most glass shower door installs. Install your glass door before installing your toilet, vanity, or other fixtures. You'll want a lot of room to work.
Take the extra time to make absolutely sure everything is level, both vertically and horizontally. This will make the door operate much more smoothly. Use a long level, not a torpedo level. When you're drilling through glazed ceramic tile, invest in a good carbide tipped masonry bit. If you're drilling through glass or porcelain tiles, you'll want to use a high quality diamond bit.
The shower glow up looks amazing! We truly believe that you can do this with your own shower project. Happy DIYing! All of the products you saw in this video were purchased at Lowe's and are in the description below.
See you next episode for the DIY vanity upgrades.